So the dream I had, I know it's very symbolic, so I'm going to share it. So I was in the house that I was raised in the suburbs in Kansas City, Missouri. And I was in there with this older man. He had a white beard and white hair. And we were making strawberries. I don't know how you make strawberries, but we were making them. And we were putting them in this barrel. And I remember there was a guy in there, he had a pitcher of water. And there was strawberries in there, and he was going to just toss them out. And I was like, no, what are you doing? There's strawberries in there. Don't throw them out. And then he was going to throw them away again. And I was like, no, don't do that. I was like, there's strawberries in there. And I was like, here, let me take it. I'll take it. So I took the pitcher of water and I took the strawberries out of there and put them in the barrel. Well, then the old man started slicing tomatoes. And he put a bunch of sliced tomatoes in the microwave and nuked these tomatoes for like 50 seconds. I don't know what that means, but that's what he did. Well, then I went outside with my dad on the upper deck of the deck outside. And it was like on the 2-story deck. Because my house had 2 different decks. It had a lower deck and an upper deck. We went out on the upper deck, me and my dad, and there was a couple other people out there with me on the deck. Like I think a girl and a guy. A younger girl and a guy. And we're looking out at the area, and everything is flooded. Like 6 to 8 feet flooded. Like it was all flooded. Everybody's backyard was flooded. And the girl that was standing next to me said, "This is what happens. This is what happens when Jesus comes again." And then all of a sudden, I hear a bunch of screaming and yelling and arguing. And I look over and there's these people. A bunch of people lined up on one side of the fence, yelling and screaming at the other people on the other side of the fence, yelling and screaming. So I go down there to figure out what's going on and see what's going on. And I could tell when I got down there, the people on one side of the fence were all wearing white and they were all Christians. And the other people on the other side of the fence were all wearing black and they were non-believers. And I run up there and I was like, whoa. I was like, what are you guys doing? Why are you guys yelling at each other? I was like, whoa. I was like, back off. I was like, we should be spreading the gospel to these people, not yelling at them and arguing with them and cussing at them. I mean, these people on both sides of the fence were just yelling at each other. It reminded me of the Bible verse of gnashing teeth. And I mean, it was just like a bunch of wild dogs that were just barking at each other on both sides of the fence. And I was like, whoa. And this one guy came up to me from the other side of the fence. I was on the Christian side of the fence to start with. And he came up to me from the other side of the fence and was all like, "Show me your faith." This was an unbeliever telling me this. He was like, "Show me your faith." And I was like, "What do you mean, show you my faith?" He's like, "Yeah, show me your faith." And I was like, faith is not something of the mind. It's of the heart. And he kind of looked at me like, wow, nobody had ever told me that before. Well, so then I jump over the side, I jump over the fence over to the unbeliever's side. And I start spreading the gospel. And I'm like, please, you guys, Jesus loves you. Jesus loves you so much. And I remember trying to get the Christians that were yelling at them. I'm like, guys, please, just stop. Stop. You guys are making this way worse. I was like, stop. And they wouldn't stop. They just kept yelling and screaming and cussing. And they were no different than the unbelievers. They were acting just the same as the unbelievers. And I just couldn't get him to stop. And I was like, we should be spreading the gospel. So I jumped over the fence to the unbelievers, and I was like, Jesus loves you, just, and they were just looking at me with anger, and they were like, whatever, shut up, Christian. That's how they were looking at me. And I started talking to this girl that was standing next to her boyfriend, and her boyfriend was yelling over the fence, and I finally got her attention. And I was like, listen. I was like, let's just say for happenstance, a guy comes up here, and he starts shooting at everybody. I was like, and your boyfriend jumps in front of you and takes a bullet for you. I said, that is what Jesus did for you. I said, he died for you. And she started crying. Well, then a couple of the Christians on the other side of the fence started yelling at her and scared her off. And I was like, what did you do that for? I was like, I almost had her. It's like, what'd you do that for? And I was upset with them. And then all of a sudden, all of the unbelievers started going into my house, into the garage part of my house. The garage door was open, and they started going in there, and there was a bunch of boxes in there full of stuff. And they were taped up, and they were full of product. I don't know if it was strawberries or what it was, but it was full of stuff. And they came in there and they started ransacking everything and taking everything. And I ran in there to try to stop them. And I was like, you know what? Forget it. I was like, you guys just take it all. Just take it. And then all of a sudden there was 2 carpenter bees. And they started buzzing around me. And they started stinging me. I remember trying to swat them off of me with my hand. And that was my dream. I hope you guys have been enjoying these dreams, because I don't usually have a bunch of vivid dreams like this. And a brother of mine prayed for us for me and my brothers and sisters to have dreams from the Lord. And praise and thanks be to Jesus that he heard our prayers. Because I've been having vivid dreams, and I think all of these dreams are very symbolic of what is to come. And very symbolic of what is happening. And I pray that these dreams edify you. And maybe give you a broader perspective of what is happening in our world today. God bless you.